Good morning. It has been about a week, a little less. So today I'm going to do something different, and please bear with me because this is not something that I feel like I'm totally ready to do, but I'm going to do it because I think everybody needs this, including myself to a certain degree. So this will be therapy for us all. I know I spend a lot of time talking about success, real estate, things I can do to be helpful to each and every one of you. But today, as promised, I'm going to do something completely different and focus completely different. And I'm focusing on mindset and understanding. Because of the recent election and because of everybody's feelings and watching social media and watching my friends and family and listening to everybody, I wanted to decide to step outside the box and do something very different and share some things that are very different from what I normally do. You see, I've been very broad, very vague sometimes in describing some of my screw ups and some of my, problems growing up and things of that nature. But I think now's the time to really give everybody an understanding. Because many of you are sitting here afraid. Many of you are sitting here disappointed. Many of you are angry. Many of you are upset, depressed, scared. And I understand why. Life is a hard thing. We all have different challenges. And right now we face a lot of unknowns. And when we have a lot of unknowns, it breeds a lot of fear, misunderstanding, misguidance, anxiousness, depression. It feeds a lot of things. So today I want to spend some time kind of helping you understand some things that hopefully maybe will help you out as they've helped me in my life and my challenges. So I'll start with this. Number one, I got to tell you, screw it. I'm going to do it this way. Forget the whole plan. My name is Colin McDowell. I'm the general sales manager at GregGarrettRealty.com. I'm a realtor. I have a team of people that work for me. I train. I'm a father. I'm a husband. And I am in Newport News, Virginia. I am a lot of things. I'm a nice guy. I'm a guy that cares for people, all people. And when I say all people, it's regardless of religion, race, culture. It doesn't matter what you dress like, what you look like. As long as you respect me, love others, respect others, are a good person, have a good heart, I support you. I love you. I want you to do good. And I believe in the idea that this world would be a better place if many of us stopped being selfish and start being selfless. Start reaching out, understanding, listening, helping others, whether it's young men and women or the older generation. I believe that my job in my lifetime is going to be to bridge the gap. And I'm only 33 years old, but I've had a lot of life experience that many people at my age have not had the good fortune of dealing with, or sometimes the misfortune of dealing with. So again, it's to give you a help and understanding that we all go through some things, and right now we are definitely going through some things and transitioning in this country. So I want to help you erase some fear. And I'm going to use my story for this, and I want you to understand that what I'm telling you is probably not what you expected, but is definitely something I feel like could help you out and has definitely shaped who I am today. I've told you before that I've been the product of two wonderful parents, which is true. But let me tell you some other things that go along with that. I grew up in Newport News, Virginia. I was born on Langley Air Force Base. My dad was in the military at the time when I was born. We had to travel overseas to the Azores. We did the typical military moving around until my mother said enough's enough and she wanted to plant her feet here. And my dad was close to retirement, so we stayed here, even though my mom's from New York and my dad's from Georgia. Now let me kind of frame this. When I grew up with certain lessons from my parents. Be honest always. Even if it hurts, be honest. I grew up with a lesson to be understanding to everybody, that none of us are the same, but we all share a lot in common. I grew up with my parents telling me to not be afraid of anybody. more my dad than my mom used to tell me that, because God decides. So don't let fear hold you back. Thank you, Dad. I grew up learning that respect was everything. Being a person of your word was everything. But not judging people for how different they were than you, but more or less sharing that same respect, that understanding, and helping each other out was really going to be key to a happy life. And again, that's true. Now, was I always this way? No, I was not. I started off, a pretty good kid. I was an introvert. Didn't say much. My younger brother was definitely the more outgoing of the two of us. As many people know throughout, knowing me and my family, my brother was definitely like the kid with the white, bleach blonde hair and the bright clothes and the outgoing nature, and had a lot of fun. And I was more of an introvert. I was kind of an angry kid, and it got worse when my father passed, because I kind of ended up hating the world. And to be honest with everybody, that's hard to say, but I did. I thought the world took my father from me, and there was no explanation, because my father's case is still unsolved. That's a tough thing to live with every day. Now, I tell people not to make you sad, but I tell you to understand some things. That drove me to do a lot of things that I shouldn't have done. I was hanging out with some of the toughest people in the world, in my opinion, mentally, physically, but we were all doing different bad things, and we kind of all helped each other do those bad things, if that made sense. A lot of times we start fights over dumb stuff, and a lot of it was egotistical. I had friends that sold drugs and did stupid stuff like that back as teenagers. And I've lost some really good friends to dumb things, and not saying that we lost our relationship, but I've actually lost them. Not like I lost my father. I have a friend that's in jail and will be in jail for a long time. I have a good friend that passed away, got shot. And I look at like just recently I ran into his brother, Lou. And Lou, I love you. You're still the same good guy, and I love seeing the pictures of you and your family, because it lets me know like how you can kind of carry on, what you can do in the face of adversity. You're a good example for that, man, and you're a good family man, and you do a lot of good things, and just seeing you was a happy moment the other day, kind of just crossing paths again, because I know we're both busy with families and jobs and everything, but I still love you to death. But I look at all the things that we're scared of. I look at all the things that we talk about, that we go through. And some people go through some very harsh things. Some people don't have any parents at all. But, this is what I want to give you as a gift. Through my understanding, you can't value life until you understand death. I've been telling people for a long time that I'm an old soul because I've been to more funerals than I have been to weddings. It's sad, but it gives me an understanding. Any day, we could all be gone. Now, what do we do with our lives? How do we treat others? How are we going to be remembered? What's our legacy? Is our legacy going to be one of fear? Is our legacy going to be one of misguided misunderstandings? Is our legacy going to be one of racial divide, of religious persecution? Is it going to be, what is it? To each individual, it's going to be different. But I can promise you, with me, you're not going to get the judgment. You're not going to get the fear. You're not going to get the religious persecution. You're not getting any of that, because what you do with your life is your life. You can make it great. Nobody can prevent you from that. And I'm here to tell you that, because I came from the pits of absolute hell. I had good parents. I had great friends. But for every piece of depression you think that I could have had in my lifetime, which I did deal with, and I still at points deal with, I look at my kids, I look at my wife, I look at my friends, I look at my family, and I say, for them, for my own life, for everything I have on this earth that I'm blessed with, I need to keep going. I need to be strong, do the right things, treat others with respect, listen to their stories, and help them as best as I can. Because when we do that and we have the collective love and knowledge and we share and lift each other up, the world becomes a lot less scary, and we actually start to do some things that we've been meant to do. We are all capable of greatness. I think in history we've proven that on an individual basis, on a collective basis, we can do some pretty astounding things. You know, I posed a few friends of mine with this question recently, and the reaction has been pretty much the same. And I'll say it as this. If I would have told you 70 years ago, you have one choice out of these two options, and what you thought was more possible to happen, the results would have been shocking. If I would have told you 70 years ago, 80 years ago, it's more likely that we'll eradicate racism than us being able to land on the moon, you would have thought it to be more possible. Now, I can tell you we've come a far distance, but we haven't gone all the way. That's the reality. We're not doing all we could do because many of us are scared and we choose not to understand, and we're not listening to each other. We have a huge distrust. When we walk by somebody that smiles upon us and we don't know who they are, we feel a little weird. We think they're weird. But maybe they're just happy, and maybe they want to spread their happiness to you. But yet you won't let that happen because you think the world's out to get you, because you think something's going to go wrong. Stop being scared. Stop being afraid. Start listening. Start reaching out. Start giving your blessings to other people, and start sharing experiences to help lift each other up and not push each other down. You see, my best of friends, the people I've been around, like Lou, even though I don't get to see you much, like Jason and Kevin Guin, like Monty and Sharon Guin, James Tierney, an old life friend, Mick, one of my best friends, Trent Garrett, my brother, my mother, my co-workers, everybody. Keith Ivey, Greg Hux, Chuck Monroe, Leighton Stone. I could keep going. Now, some even bigger friends, better friends than me, you know, that have had more success than me in different areas of their life. Josh Henderson, love you, brother. Crystal and Brandon Beta, love y'all. Many people. Think about it. What is stopping you but you? The president can't stop you. The government is 535 people for 320 million people. They're going to listen to you. But they're going to listen to you when you stop being afraid and you start educating yourself and you start making strides to make a big difference rather than just stir up crap. So instead of judging each other, instead of berating each other, and instead of trying to protest, and instead of trying to do, which all are fine, do better for you, do better for your kids, do better for our world. Start handling your fears, confronting them up front. Start having different conversations, and start lending ourselves to try and figure out a better way to improve everybody's lives at the same time, not just your own. See, this world has become a selfish place. And when you have selfishness, you have greed. And when you have greed, you have fear. And when you have fear, you have chaos. It's simple. We're making it complicated. Stop making it complicated and start doing something different. Start lifting each other up, regardless of race, color, religion, sexual orientation. Stop. Empower each other. Lift each other up. Do better. We can't fix what our parents, our great-grandparents, so on and so forth. We can only fix us. Fix it now. Because when our kids come up, what are we leaving them? More problems or a better world? Let's leave the world a better place. Let's start now, because we can do a lot more than what you think we can do, because there's a lot of brain power with 320 million people in the United States. So I hope that this message gets out, and I hope that you understand it, and I hope that you give each other hope, and I hope that this message sits right here and gives everything to you to understand that you are worth it, your life is worth it, you only have one. Now live it happily. Give others happiness. Show everybody what selflessness is, not selfishness. Give to others. Show others that together we can rise to the occasion, that we can do more together than apart. Stop ripping each other apart and start helping each other out. Start having a different understanding. Start having a different conversation, and we'll start to get somewhere. Please pass this along. Share your comments. Let me know your thoughts. I'm always open and listening for any conversation, because it helps me learn, it helps me grow, and it helps me help others do the same. And that's all I can hope that this video does for you or anybody else. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for watching. I know this was long, but with such an important heavy weight on all of our shoulders, I wanted to spend some time and make sure that I drove this point home in hopes that it would give us what we all need right now, which is a little bit of hope. Thank you.